What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and thank you so much for jumping in to see another video. My name is Josh, and I am so glad you guys are here. And it is Monday afternoon, and I'm excited to share with you a little bit of an update about the market and talk about some of the stocks that I've made money in today, stocks that you can make money in tomorrow. Again, remember, guys, not financial advice, just my opinion. But I always share in my videos the top stocks that I trade in and out of every single market day and make money. Now, I'm not perfect. I don't always have days where I make money. Some days I get in, I miss the out, and I hold the stock until the next day, or depending on how I feel about where the stock is going, I may hold it for a couple days and turn it into a swing trade and make more money that way. But I don't like to tie up all of my cash in every stock that I do, so I go in sort of heavy on stocks that I want to day trade, leaving powder on the side, ready to jump into something that's awesome, that maybe is news anchored or has something attached to it that's going to cause it to run. Today, the market, if you saw my video from this morning, you guys know the market has been on a beautiful uptrend today. We really saw a good day of solid green. Based on this afternoon's results, guys, the S&P 500 is sitting at up about almost 3% at $58.27 or $582. Remember how we look at it in our accounts, our brokerage accounts. But you know, the S&P 500, which I always tell you guys is made up of 157 top companies that drive the S&P 500. And I've had some questions about that. The S&P 500 is comprised of 500 plus. It's actually 503 or 504 companies, stock tickers. Many of those stock tickers have multiple tickers connected to them, but it is more than 500 companies. But there's 157 companies, the big companies that drive the number, okay? The Magnificent Seven, several gorilla stocks. They drive that S&P number 500. Okay, anyway, $5,827.91. The Dow Jones finishes up almost 3%, over 1,000 points higher in the Dow Jones, and the NASDAQ over 700 points higher, up 4%. Guys, you could not ask for a better market day. However, a good solid green market day doesn't also have its casualties. One of those casualties, which for me is not a casualty, you look at APLD, it was all the way up in the 560 something range. You guys know I'm bag holding APLD in my Webull account at 580 something. Thought it was going to hit there today. It's back down in the high 520s, 530s, $5.30 something cents. Guys, not a problem, because I did trade APLD today on my Robinhood account and killed it today, guys. What a wonderful day for APLD. A lot of stocks ran. Guys, Tesla. Last I looked at Tesla, $316 per share. I'm still in that as a longer term hold investment, and I'm going to stay in it. I'm not selling it. I'm not giving it up. I'm in at a decent low price, and I'm just going to let it continue to run. NVIDIA. I think I'm actually in NVIDIA at 107. NVIDIA is actually at $122.47 right now. Guys, again, not selling it. There's a lot of talk about what's happening with NVIDIA, especially with the tariff talks between China and the U.S., and there's some negotiating and things going on there. This stock is going to rocket. I'm not sharing that as financial advice for you guys, just letting you know NVIDIA's still got a lot of room to go, and easily, we believe, over time, could hit the 150 plus mark. So what is driving the news today? So you know, well, obviously the weekend news that we had caused the market to end up on a run. We had this whole China-U.S. tariff meeting in Switzerland in Geneva, and the meeting went great. President Trump said they were making great, a great deal, and they slashed prices on tariffs. So now we're down. I'll put it up on the screen here, but we're down considerably. China's tariffs against the United States and the United States tariffs against China, but it's for 90 days. They're going to continue to work together to come to an agreement for something that both countries can be happy with. And guys, no offense, but it's about time, man. It's about time we got China sort of in line to realize it's like China doesn't really need us and we don't really need China. But at the end of the day, we do need each other. because if you think about how many items you have in your house, if you go find 10 items in your house, guaranteed maybe 2 of those items are made in the United States. Maybe 4 of those items are made in China. Then you've got one made in India, and you may have one made, in South Africa. But at the end of the day, guys, we need each other. And the China economy is exploding down, and they're in huge trouble. And the United States holding strong, President Trump holding strong to keep the president of China to a level where he needs to negotiate is a great thing. And yes, we may be paying the price in certain ways for it right now, and I don't mean the tariff price or the taxes, but overall, economy-wise, financially, stock market. But once we are done and out of the weeds on it, guys, I just see basically this rocket ship running up straight to the moon on many of the stocks in our stock market. What else is going on, guys? It was interesting. I was watching some news articles earlier about basically global pharma. Stocks for global pharma actually soared today. The market was very happy. Investors were very excited about the fact that, Donald Trump has been talking about this drug plan. And what's really interesting about that, and let me pull it up here on my phone to share with you. I took a snapshot of it, and I'm going to share it with you here on the screen. Basically, what was being talked about was the cost of prescription medication. In other words, the supply of that medication, how much other countries are paying for it compared to how much we pay for it. There was one medication, and when I find that and put it up here, there was one medication that basically they said that we're paying like $800+ for that medication. That's us in the United States, patients that need that medication, while other countries are only paying $90 for it, $70, $60 for it. I mean, something's wrong with that, right? That the United States is getting charged 8, 9, 10 times what it's costing 3, 4 other countries for the same medication. Trump sees that's broken, and he's working on that, and we'll see what happens as that moves on. Aside from that, guys, really, the market is happy. It's moving in the right direction. It did have some retesting in certain areas, but the S&P 500 is holding right where it is, which is great news because now we can sort of chart the support and resistance levels for today and just sort of understand where we're at from past. They still believe that the S&P 500 is going to run to 6,000, so $600 per share as we traded on Webull, but the 6,000 points. They're going to drop that a little bit to be conservative, and there'll be some news on that. But overall, the stock market is doing a wonderful thing. Let's take a look at some of those stocks today, especially the ones that I made money in. And I would ask you to take a look at them and consider them for tomorrow when we open. Again, I always share with you, understand the candlesticks, understand what's happening post and pre-market, understand what the S&P 500 is doing. The two top sectors right now that are doing incredible in stock are financial, and the second one is technology. I live in the tech stocks, the tech market, because that's where NVIDIA is, and Intel, and APLD, okay? Financial, SoFi. Let's pull that up first. SoFi had an incredible day today. I've been sharing with you guys that I've been waiting for SoFi to drop back down in that lower $12 cost per average. It's at $14.03 right now, guys. Okay? This is one, they keep saying it's running to 19. It's running to 19. I'm not skeptical about it. I believe it's going to run to 19. I was waiting for it to get back to a point where it's $12.50 or so, and then get back in, and as a long term, let it run. Like I did last time, I got in less than $10. I sold it when it hit about $13, took profit on it, and I've just been waiting for another entry back in. But it's been performing so well, you're sort of like thinking like, should I have just stayed in it, number one? Well, no, because that money's made me more money in other areas. Number two, what do I do now, right? That's the question. What do I do now? Do I get in at $14 or do I wait? The answer is wait. There's going to be another dip. This is a wonderful run up, but there will be a drop down for the entire market somewhere in the week. If we continue to get good news, it'll continue to pump. But remember, right now with the tariffs, until we get out of this tariff talk, economy talk, Fed Chair Jerome Powell talk, all the stuff that's going on, there's going to be this pump and dump. The market's going to run up and it's going to run down, run up and run down. I will tell you what I'm going to do so you guys know. And again, you do what you need to do, make financial decisions based on where you're at. But for me, I'm going to buy the low. I'm going to buy the dip, and I'm going to keep running and getting into the dip, and I'm going to make money at the top, sell, drop again, get back in, keep making that money. Wash, rinse, repeat, guys. That's how you get rich. And guess what? The wealthy, the 1%ers, they go in fat and heavy. They buy 10, 15, 20, 100,000 shares of a stock, and they let it run up. That's big money, right? Well, that's what these guys are doing. That's what these big investors, these 1%, these wealthy people are doing it. And we obviously don't have the money like that, but we can make money. You can make $500+ per week if you trade, 500,000, 1,500 shares, depending on the cost per share. So think about that, guys. And absolutely consider SoFi as one of those, as I do consider SoFi, and we'll watch it together. All right. I made money and I got out today. SoundHound, I did leave some on the table. I'm going to kind of show you what happened for me. So this is today. It was doing this run up from $9 in the post and pre-market, got all the way up to opening at $9.54. I was pretty pumped about that. I was in it at $9.22 and let it run. And I got out somewhere over here, I want to say about $10.52, $10.40 something cents I got out. Took profit, was super happy, and was thinking like, okay, based on these red candles, this thing's going to turn around and come down. And then went off of it, went to focus on another stock, another trade, WULF, which I'll show you next, Wolf, and came back and it was freaking at $11. And I was like, oh my Lord. I left $1 per share on the table, guys. But guess what? I'm not upset, guys. You know why? Because I lived to trade another day. I took profit. I didn't get greedy. I was real happy about the profit I was at. I read my candles and I interpreted that it was going to drop. Guys, it did do some drops on the 1 minute when I was looking at that exit point, okay? As it was running up, you can see here. Let's get all the way over here. Okay. All right. All the way up here. And then you see these candles and this drop down right here, right? I'm like, okay, this is not good news. That's not good news at all. So I'm up here and I saw the change in the candles and got out and took profit. Okay. It kept running. Tech stocks today are running hard. Love it, guys. Guess what? That means that I'm going to watch this now, SoundHound, for the next couple days, see what it does. It dropped back down to 1088 at one point. Okay, see what it does, and as it continues to run its course, I'll make decisions daily on SoundHound. SoundHound is a solid company. It's one of those you could trade day in and day out and not worry so much that if it goes down, you hold on to it. It's going to come back in the next day or a couple days, and it's doing it right now, guys, right in front of your eyes, 11:03. It continues to go. Serve Robotics is another one. I was not in Serve Robotics today, but I wanted to show it to you guys because it's at $8.62. Okay, it ran today all the way up. Let me give it to you. That's 878, 885. Good day. Good day for Serve Robotics. 891 was the top of the candle wick. Good day. Keep an eye on Serve Robotics. WULF, guys. Look at this. Okay, post-market, pre-market, 297. Remember, I was in this at $3.22. So opening candle at 9, let's see, right about where we got in, 9 o'clock. Opening candle 3:15, got in at 3:22. It ran up, it's 364, right about 3:58, I got out. I started to see sort of on the candles what was happening, okay? Now I always watch the 15-minute and the 30-minute. When I'm ready to make a strategic decision, I'm on the 1 minute and the 5 minute. But anyway, it turned. I got out at $3.50. I think it was $3.52. Took profit on it. Was super happy. It stayed horizontal most of the day. Had some drop. It's finishing out now at 348. And let's see, market is now closed. So 348 was closed. It's at 347.9. Guys, WULF, another really good one for day trading. Keep your eye on it. Tomorrow, I'm also going to be looking at, guys, I wanted to share with you a couple of the big boys. So Ford had some good in and out today. It's not real dramatic. Okay. We'll go to the 1 minute, and you can see, that it's got a lot of horizontal runs. Okay. But it did have some good. Let's go to auto. It did have some positive ups, and then you had to ride it down. Positive up, ride it down. But this is not one, again, guys, that makes huge fat fire money, right? It opened at 1056. It ran at the high up here, 1071. So, you're talking, 13 cents, something like that you make on it. But it's a pretty predictable one. It's one that's easy to trade in, but it's slow. I mean, it has a slow movement, even at 101 million volume. APLD obviously will be in there tomorrow. I love APLD, guys. A little bit of a disappointing run back down at the end of the day, at least for what I am holding at 580 something. But like I said, in my Robinhood count, I made some really good profit on it. And, that's kind of like my thing, right? I have long-term hold ones that I love being in, and I have my day trade ones that I'm, by the end of the day, back to powder. This is one I like to be in for both. I also like to do options on APLD, and it's too volatile right now to do options. I don't do options. I don't trust options. I don't want to lose everything. But on APLD, I do. I'll buy calls and I'll buy puts based on what I understand the market's doing each day. And generally, I'd say about 85% of the time, I'm right on my calls, whether it's a call or a put for APLD itself. But anyway, APLD is another one. Two, I'm going to throw on your radar, guys. A lot of people are talking about this, okay? So Webull. Webull's down, closed at 1409. It's at 1425 right now. Webull is one that, remember, this was an IPO. And when it first opened, let's go to the daily. When it first started, okay, this candle wick right here, it went all the way to, where are we? Okay, $12.15. And then it ran all the way up. And I gotta look at this. Look where I have to go to get this to you guys. Yes, I could make it smaller over here, but I don't want to because this is fun. Look at that, guys. $79.56. Okay, so $79.56. Everyone is saying, legit, everyone is saying right now that this stock, we're getting a lot of alerts, guys. A lot of alerts on stuff moving fast or moving slow. Amazon is up. Okay, wow. EL is up. Cheesecake Factory. Okay, there's a lot of stocks right now that are moving. We're going to have to do a little bit of homework on these, figure out what's going on. But anyway, let's get out of the daily. Let's go back to a 15-minute. Okay, Webull is at $14, and now it's up again, $14.30. I bet you that's one that alerted too. So $14.30. It's up 1.49% just in the aftermarket. Let me show you the comparison that everyone's using right now. Okay, Hood, H-O-O-D, Robinhood. It's at $57.43 at close, $57.12 right now. Everyone's saying Webull is more popular than Robinhood, and chances are it's going to run, maybe not right away, but within a good amount of time this year, it's going to run back up over $50 a share. I believe it, guys. And a lot of people are saying, buy it now and hold it. Buy it now and hold it. I'm considering it. I've got some little bit of homework to do on it first. I want to understand it a little bit better since inception and sort of see a little bit of the trend. But the truth is, Hood was the same thing. Hood also, okay, let's go to the daily and see if I can show that to you guys. Hood also was one of those stocks. Look, okay, $13, $16, $10, $7, okay? Nobody thought $8, $7.57. These are all the lows, okay? $6.81. Nobody thought that Robinhood would be over $50, and it is. And it is one of those that it probably alerted for me because of how it's running up It actually hit 59.33 on a candle, but in the close it's at, I don't have my extended on. It's at 57.28 now. Anyway, so guys, we're gonna be watching Weeble. One other thing I wanted to share with you guys, and I'm going to tell you it's interesting. I sold out at about $60 per share. I was in Nike, and just last week, okay, I got out when it hit this $60.39 high. I was in it at about $51 or $52, held it for a while, and decided, you know what, I'm going to pull that capital out and use it somewhere else. Made decent profit on it, and now today it's at $62.66 right now in the aftermarket, and is reacting very well. This jump, this gap to fill at some point from $58 to $61 to $63 will be filled at some point, but they're saying that because of the tariff talk in China, that Nike's very happy, and most of their product does come from Nike in China. So most of their product does come from China. So anyway, guys, Nike's one to look at. A lot to think about, a lot to take into consideration. Do your homework first, guys. Be smart. Know your your level of be smart, guys. Know your tolerance levels, know your risk factors, and your risk tolerance to how much you're okay letting drop. I always say you haven't lost anything till you sold it. So if you're holding anything, then hold on to it and continue to let it be. Unless you think a company's going out of business, stay in it. Look at this. The S&P 500 is still running up in the after hours, guys. This is what I love. This is what I love. It's at 583.02 now, right? And these 157 companies that are the top companies in the S&P 500 plus companies, I have to continue to say that, make sure nobody gets upset with me, are going to continue to push it, okay? And so just keep your eye on that, and everything's going to work out great, guys. All right, guys, thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please click the subscribe button. Please hit that notification bell. Drop me a comment. Let me know how you guys are doing. I love the communication. I love talking back and forth with you guys in the comments. Thank you for being part of this channel. Subscribe, like, hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. Guys, if you haven't opened a Webull account yet, go down in the description. There's a link down there. You can open a Webull account and get up to 20 free fractional shares. Get that money, make that money. Let's get rich together, guys. See you tomorrow. Get ready for another green market day. Josh out. Peace.